I still remember that day like it was yesterday. I was 17, living in a small town called Boise, Idaho, a quiet place where time moves slow, people mind their own business, and dreams usually die before they even begin. Every morning, I looked at those same empty roads and thought, there has to be more to life than this. My dad was a mechanic. The garage was like my second home. His hands were always covered in grease, and he used to tell me, "Son, if you want to build something in life, you got to get your hands dirty." Back then, I thought it was just another one of his old man sayings. But later, I realized he wasn't talking about hands. He was talking about life. I wasn't a top student, not a failure either, just somewhere in between. But deep down, I always believed I was meant for something bigger. I just didn't know what that was. And then, one day, everything changed. Right after high school, I decided to move to New York City. Everyone thought I was crazy. From Idaho to New York? You don't even have a plan, they said. And they were right. I didn't. I just had a dream. I took a long bus ride across the country and reached New York after 3 exhausting days. I thought the city would welcome me with open arms. But New York doesn't welcome anyone. It tests you first, it slaps you, and then waits to see if you'll get back up. For the first few months, I worked in a coffee shop. Minimum wage, long shifts. I slept in a small storage room in the back. Every night, while riding the subway, I'd ask myself, did I really leave everything behind for this? Then one morning, a man walked in. He wore a clean suit, smelled like success, and looked confident. He ordered a latte and asked me, "Kid, ever thought about doing something bigger than this?" I thought he was joking. I smiled and said, "Yeah, every single day." He handed me his card. "I'm Ethan Brooks," he said. "I work at a marketing firm. If you're serious, come see me tomorrow." The next day, I went to his office. I was nervous, underdressed, but ready. Ethan gave me an unpaid internship. He said, "If you can learn, you'll earn." That line stuck with me forever. Those 6 months changed my life. I learned how ideas could turn into money, how words could move people, how storytelling could sell anything. 6 months later, Ethan hired me full-time. That was my first real job and my first real taste of ambition. I worked harder than ever. I got to the office before everyone and left long after they did. That office became my home. Some of our marketing campaigns even went viral. I thought I had made it. I thought I had everything I wanted. Then one night, Ethan looked at me and said, "You've got potential, but you're scared." "You're thinking too small, I didn't understand," he continued. "You're working hard, but for dreams that aren't yours." That one sentence hit me like a punch. That night, I couldn't sleep. I realized he was right. I wasn't chasing my dream. I was building someone else's. So I made a decision. I was going to build something of my own. I had no money, no fancy degree, no investors. But I had one thing, a voice. I started an Instagram page called Everyday Hustle. I wrote stories about ordinary people, waiters, Uber drivers, nurses, street musicians, real people, real struggles, real emotions. At first, nobody cared. I had maybe 200 followers, then 2,000. And then one day, a celebrity shared one of my posts. Overnight, I had 50,000 followers. That night changed everything. People started commenting things like, "This feels like my story," or "I cried reading this." That's when I realized people don't crave perfection, they crave connection, but success always comes with a test. One of my closest friends, Jake, who'd been with me since the beginning, copied my idea. Same concept, same tone, and his page blew up. Bigger than mine. I was crushed. I stopped writing. The page died. For weeks, I did nothing. Then one night, sitting alone in my tiny apartment, I remembered my dad's words again. "If you want to build something in life, you got to get your hands dirty." And I finally understood. Sometimes you have to break down before you can rebuild. So I started writing again. But this time, I didn't write about other people. I wrote about myself, my pain, my fears, my mistakes. And that changed everything. The more honest I became, the more people connected. Because when you're real, people feel it. A year later, I rebranded the page. I called it Real Stories of America. It grew fast. People from all over the country started sharing their stories. Single moms, truck drivers, immigrants, students. Every post got thousands of comments. Brands started reaching out. I even launched a podcast. Then one day, Ethan called me. He said, "Kid, you finally started working for your own dream." I laughed and said, "Told you I'd make it." 3 years later, I went back to Boise. My dad was retired. The old garage still smelled like oil and metal. I gave him a brand new tool set engraved with the words, "For the man who taught me to build dreams." He looked at me and said, "Proud of you, son." In that moment, standing in that same old garage, I realized something. The city, the fame, the followers, they were all just part of the journey. Home wasn't New York. Home was where the dream began. Life doesn't always give you what you want, but if you're brave enough to leave what's safe, it gives you what you need. I've learned that taking risks isn't the problem. Staying still is. Every failure hides a clue to your next step, and most importantly, you don't find success. You build it. Today, I'm sitting in my small New York apartment writing this story. The same city that once scared me is now the place I built my dream in. That small town kid everyone said would never make it, made it. Not because he was lucky, but because he refused to quit. And as I look out my window at the glowing city lights, I can't help but think, maybe I didn't just find my home, I created it.